Today, I want to talk about DK top laner Kana's atrocious itemization on Rumble over in the LCK. Now, he's not the only player doing this trash build, but he ended up taking the disgustingness to a whole nother level. Let's take a look. Also, 54% of you aren't subscribed. Hit that subscribe button if you want to support the channel. So Kana rushes into Demonic Embrace first item, which really makes no sense to me here. This item gives bonus AP for every 2% bonus health you build, and Rumble isn't building HP outside a potential Proto Belt purchase, which Kana doesn't even do this game. Also, the Demonic Burn does percent max HP damage, so the only real value it will get this game is when he hits Jax and Vi. Considering the champion, Rumble wants to play for team fights, not side lane against Jax, so overall this purchase is really pretty bad. Especially first item because HP levels aren't high enough early in the game to get real value out of the burn effect. First item on Rumble should literally always be Proto Belt into stacking as much magic penetration as possible. Instead of doing so, Kana makes such a gross decision. He builds a Hextech alternator towards his mythic and then immediately builds Oblivion Orb after. This truly makes me want to hurl. Again, he's trying to play for side lane against Jax as a teamfight champion, and realistically the healing reduction is never actually going to translate to a meaningful advantage or difference in a fight. Completely useless purchase. Moral of the story here is to never build Oblivion Orb or Morellonomicon. To put it lightly, there are much better options out there. After the pit stop for Oblivion Orb, Kana builds into Night Harvester for his mythic, another useless item. If we compare Night Harvester statistically to Proto Belt, we see that they both give 98 P. Night Harvester has 10 more ability haste and 50 more HP. But the big point for Proto Belt is in the magic penetration, which is a stat Rumble absolutely loves. It has 6 magic pen built into the item and plus 5 on the mythic passive, compared to the 5 ability haste of Night Harvester. Then you take into account the item effects. One Night Harvester proc does 125 damage plus 15% AP. This is really negligible damage as Rumble currently has only a little over 200 AP with adaptive runes. This translates to roughly 160 damage from the Night Harvester proc. Then consider it's most likely being used against a Jax with Hexdrinker and Merc Treads. Also, the extra movement speed from this item does nothing, especially on Rumble, as he has 2 built-in slows and a speed up with his shield, so gap closing is never an issue. Looking at the Proto Belt active, it does literally the same damage as Night Harvester, but it can hit multiple targets with its spread. Also, not to say it's useful, but it gives more bonus movement speed than Night Harvester does. So for the same amount of money, Proto Belt is statistically better and has a more practically useful effect than Night Harvester. People only build this trash item because it appears as a big burst of damage and gives them a dopamine hit, when in reality, Proto Belt will always do more damage. Point being, terrible purchase from Kana. As the game ends, you can see Kana has a Blighted Jewel in inventory, indicating Void Staff, which would be his first good purchase of the game. Look at the enemy team builds. 3 Merc Treads, Mauve Malmortius, Banshee's Veil, and Negatron Cloak on Alistar. That's a lot of magic resist, and it's taken Kana 3 items to build any magic pen outside of his boots. Again, this is Rumble's main stat that he relies on to do damage, and with this build, he isn't doing any. Optimal Rumble builds always start with Proto Belt. In this game, Kana should have gone into Void Staff second with Pen Boots, and then Rabadon third. With that build, he would have 39 base magic pen plus 40% from Void Staff. Immense damage build. Instead, Kana settled for a useless demonic angle, a hilariously useless mythic purchase, and an Oblivion Orb that probably reduced a total of 69 healing, and never got to complete the one useful item he was going to purchase. This proves yet again that pro players don't think about things like itemization and just use a Mobifier build or something. Truly saddening to see. Thanks for watching, see you next time.